Hey folks, in this video I wanted to show you in the development tools uh, the development tool that allows you to step through your code and debug it really well. So here we have the same 99 bottles of beer on the wall code. I have changed one line here. This was actually before console.log. It was so writing to the console. Here I'm writing to the screen. And I've also introduced one little change in the code which creates a big bug. So let's run it first of all. And well, first of all, this is not looking good because it's all wrapping. So let's change that um, and put in a break here, maybe 2 breaks. And run it again. It's taking its time. It's sweet time. Okay, so now we getting it formatted a little better, uh, and it's actually it looks like it's outputting almost correctly at first glance. It's counting down here, but notice that it just starts with 1 bottle and just keeps going at 1 bottle. Now, if you're an astute programmer, you can probably just figure it out by looking at the code. But sometimes if you get stumped, you need to debug it. And probably an easy way to do it is that I showed you in the last video, the 99 bottles of beer, when we coded it, that I added a console.log statement one place to um, just see what was happening. But another way to do it is to open up the developer tools. Here I'm pressing F12. And again, usually you're on the Elements tab or maybe the Console tab. Let's run it again. Let's get rid of that. Here I've run it again, run it one more time. So you're usually on the Elements of the Console tab, but if you open up this Sources tab and then click on Index, uh, you get the whole code here, so the whole HTML page usually, and then you can actually introduce break statements in your code. Let's put one right here. Okay, let's run the page again, and notice what it does is it's loaded the page, and then as soon as it did, it stopped at this first break, and then you can step through the code individually, but line by line. So here we're going through the line, one line by line, and it printed out the first line. Look, we already have an error there. You can see, you can do it again, go line by line, and you can see we're having issues. But you can actually step through the code line by line. You can actually look at the variables. If you roll over it, it says 98 bottles remaining. Let's run through it one more time. And now it should say 97 as it does. Okay, so you just can roll over variables and actually output them. Here, but look how this says 1 here. Bottles before passing around. That should be it should be 97, right? So let's step through. This is 97, 96. This is still 1, but if we step through, now it's 96, okay? And let's step through the code a little bit more. 96 is not equal to 1, so we add the appropriate suffix, bottles before passing around. But let's so you see this? This is bottles before passing around is 96. So this should be 96 when we get done. But let's hit step one more time. Let's look at it now. Now it says 1. And we don't want it to be 1, right? It should be 96. The reason why that happened is because of, instead of using the comparison operator here, which is 2 a pair of equals, we used the assignment operator, so it became 1. So watch out. Of course, we're illustrating two things here. You can use the debugger for looking at your variables and examining your code up close, but I'm also showing you a common error that you may commit often. Anyway, hope you liked this video and that it showed you another way that you can debug your code. Also, actually, you can also do this. Well, let's put another break in here. And instead of stepping through your code into one line by line, you can also keep hitting it till it hits another break. Or if we get rid of this break, and then it'll run the entire rest of the code and finish it. So that's just a general broad overview of how to use this debugging tool. And I guarantee you it will come in handy in your programming, because 30% or 40% of becoming a competent JavaScript programmer, let alone any other kind of programmer, is not just writing your code and creating nice algorithms. It's also being able to debug it.